Thanks for joining us at 9 News at noon. I'm Lawrence Cafidi. It's an app used by millions of Americans, but this morning, a three-judge panel of the D.C. Circuit Court ruled unanimously to uphold a law banning TikTok in the U.S. if the app's Chinese parent company does not sell it. That has to happen by January 19th. Today's decision sets the stage for TikTok to take its case to the Supreme Court. A source close to the company says it'll be seeking an injunction pending its appeal. During his campaign, President-elect Trump said he would save TikTok if elected. Today's ruling spelled out that Trump could grant a 90-day extension if progress has been made towards a sale. The law passed because U.S. lawmakers are worried Chinese officials are selling users' data and influencing TikTok's algorithms, but the app's attorneys argued that does not happen. The city of Aurora has reached a deal to close an apartment complex at the center of activity by a migrant gang. On Wednesday in court, attorneys for the owners of The Edge at Lowry Apartments said they won't oppose its closing. This is the property off 12th and Dallas, where a now viral video showed men with guns getting into an apartment building. Someone was shot and killed there that same day. Aurora's police chief called the property a criminal nuisance, saying there are dozens of police calls and code violations. The owners blame the gang for the property's conditions. If it is closed, the city says people living there will get at least a 30-day notice. Several counties are now suing former disgraced District Attorney Linda Stanley. The lawsuit was filed by Fremont, Chaffee, and Custer counties. They claim she improperly used public money to defend herself against ethics charges. She was found guilty of misconduct while handling the case against Barry Morphew in the death of his wife, Suzanne. She has since been disbarred, and a new district attorney has been appointed. We spoke to 9 News legal expert Scott Robinson, where he says she knew the actions were illegal.
Taxpayer money can only be used to run the business of being a district attorney. You can't use that to pay for your car payments, and you certainly can't pay to have a defense for an ethical violation that you, in fact, were ultimately found guilty of.
The lawsuit demands Stanley pay back the more than $111,000 she spent on legal fees plus interest. A former Larimer County Human Services caseworker will be serving 2 months in a work release program and 3 years of probation after she lied about meeting with families. Sandra Spraker claims she met with 10 families about cases, but when contacted, some of them were not aware she existed or that there was an open case. She took a plea deal earlier this year. She told a judge that her lies were the result of mental health issues caused in part by stress from the job. Well, it is so nice out there right now. Check that out as you see by this shot. But how about this weekend? Joining me now is Keely Chalmers with our 9 News Weather Impact team. Keely, change is coming in a few days.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we are in store for a gorgeous weekend. It is going to be a perfect weekend to get outside, enjoy the weather before, yes, big changes come on Monday in the form of a big temperature drop as well as some snow, especially for the mountains. We do have a chance for some snow down at the lower elevations as well. Beautiful shot right now. We're at 56 degrees at DIA. Winds out of the southwest 3 miles per hour. Those winds are light. They are going to stay light for the next couple of days, picking up a bit on Sunday. Current temperatures, again, mainly 50s across the plains, 47 degrees in the always colder Lyman due to the snowpack there. And we're looking at mainly 20s, 30s, and some 40s up in the high country. Here's a look at your hour-by-hour forecast. We are going to drop down into the 40s by 5 o'clock, but we are staying clear all the way into the evening and overnight, as well as that ridge of high pressure continues to just sit there stagnant, not moving, and it is directing our weather pattern. Mostly sunny today, 57 degrees, our forecast high. Winds out of the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Forecast highs again across the plains. We're looking mainly 50s, 30s, and 40s for the high country. That ridge not doing much. We are staying really just dry and quiet as we head into the weekend. So warm weekend, that tops our weather headlines. 9 News Parade of Lights. It is looking fantastic. I'll have more on that coming up in your complete forecast, as well as those big changes in store for us on Monday.
Much, Keely. Police in Pennsylvania say they recovered the body of a woman who fell into a sinkhole while looking for her cat. 64-year-old Elizabeth Pollard disappeared Monday evening. Authorities found her car close to what's believed to be a newly opened sinkhole above a long-abandoned coal mine. As the manhunt continues for the gunman who killed the UnitedHealthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, Wednesday. UnitedHealthcare coverage denials are coming into focus. And while we still don't know a motive, we do know that earlier this fall, UnitedHealthcare was subject of a Senate probe into insurance companies intentionally denying people's claims for profit. As far as the shooter, investigators believe he traveled to New York City from Atlanta last month on a Greyhound bus. Then he checked into a hostel on Manhattan's Upper West Side, where he paid with cash and used a fake ID. Yesterday, surveillance video pictures of the suspect right here showed him at the hostel and pulling down his mask, giving this clear photo of his face. New details today on the man behind Wednesday's shooting in Northern California at a religious school. Police say 56-year-old Gren Litton planned the attack, had a ghost gun, lied he had a grandson interested in the school, and had extremist writing. Both of the young boys who were shot are still in the hospital today, fighting for their lives. The sheriff's office says 5-year-old Elias Wolford was shot once in the abdomen, while 6-year-old Roman Mendez was shot twice. Today, the judge in a deadly chokehold case out of New York City told jurors to continue deliberating. This comes after those jurors said they couldn't reach a unanimous decision on the top charge of manslaughter. Daniel Penny, who is a former Marine, is accused of killing a man experiencing homelessness while on a New York subway last year. Prosecutors say he held Jordan Neely in a chokehold for more than 6 minutes after he started acting erratically during the ride. Penny's attorneys say he acted in self-defense. If convicted of manslaughter, he could face up to 15 years in prison. Leadership at the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, saying they're already implementing several recommendations for improving campus safety. It comes after the deadly shooting of 2 students inside their dorm earlier this year. A UCCS student is charged with shooting and killing his roommate, Samuel Knopp, and a woman inside their dorm in February. Their investigation found Knopp raised concerns about his roommate several times before the shooting, even telling the university officials his roommate threatened to kill him. The university hired a law firm to look at its policies and outline ways they could make campus safer. The independent report gave 13 recommendations, including more training for staff to identify these alarming behaviors and updating its emergency plan. Donald Trump has pledged mass deportations, and while we know Denver's mayor won't have the city take part, another town in the metro says they are behind it. Also ahead, they've been camping out for nearly 2 days, waiting patiently for the release of Stranahan's latest Snowflake whiskey batch, and today we finally know that date.